All right, y'all. Donald Trump has weaseled out of the September 10th debate on ABC, saying, oh, well, you know, Democrats, we don't know what's going on. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris has said, all right, Donald, I'm showing up. So I'm going to be there on September 10th, whether you come or not. I think, Renita, this is a brilliant move by Vice President Kamala Harris. It is to show Donald Trump as a coward. Great, smart move.
Absolutely. And the thing with this is, I think one of the main reasons that he doesn't want to show up is because they don't know what their new campaign message is. They have been talking this entire time about this being a race between the strong and the weak, talking about how weak Biden was in comparison to Trump. And now that Kamala is going to be the nominee, that framing doesn't work. She's younger than him. She's had more experience. I would argue that actually applies to the job. She has the stamina. She's smart. And she's ready to go right now. And so I think that, you know, the framing that they have, that he has run his whole campaign on has now gone down the drain. I think that's why he doesn't want to do the debate. The other thing is they spent so much money running all of these ads against Biden and spending all this money campaigning against Biden, who is no longer the nominee. So, I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. You know, folks are pointing out that the Trump campaign is scrambling. Trump himself is scrambling because of the because of the interest around what a Kamala presidency would look like. People are interested to see her campaign. People are interested to try to hit the reset button here and bring back the coalition that was slipping away under Biden being the candidate. So he should be afraid.
Well, absolutely, and I must say, Congo, look, it's great to stand there. Remember when Clint Eastwood talked to the chair at the Republican National Convention in Tampa in 2012? That's what Vice President Harris should say. Matter of fact, what she ought to do is get a Donald Trump dummy and dress it up as a chicken and stand it there and say, he was too chicken to come here.
I think that would be amazing, right? And we know that, you know, some people say you stay petty so you don't have to get petty. I don't think she'll be petty enough to do it, but I would love to see it. But look, the optic of Donald Trump not showing up and giving her the opportunity as a prosecutor to have the largest eyes that will be on this campaign between now and the election, and to just give her an opportunity to freestyle that joint or just answer questions from the moderators, that would be a death knell for the Trump campaign. And so he has no choice. I think he's going to play it because, look, he's hungering for ratings right now and attention. So I think that he was planning to drop out, but I think he's also going to play this out a little bit to keep his name in the news. Will he or won't he? Will they or won't they? And then, you know, show up with the lowest expectations ever. Just not, as Hillary Clinton said, just don't light himself on fire. And people say that he had a presidential style debate and he was great. And that's what he's going to do. So I feel like he's going to show up, but I would just love the opportunity for her to just sit there and prosecute an empty chair, or Trump dressed up as a chicken, some type of physical display of that as well.
Absolutely. Julian, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think your idea about the chicken is funny, brilliant, ain't gonna happen. Kamala has too much class. She's not going to stoop to his level, and his level is pretty low. I do think that he may or may not show up for a debate. She'll wipe the floor up with him, and that's why he doesn't want to come. They basically completely upended the Trump playbook in terms of what they were planning to do. They were planning to ridicule Biden as old and slow, etc. And now they can't say any of that about Kamala. He's been name-calling. He's been on a name-calling roll. I think he called her garbage one day, a bum the other day. Really just all-time low. But where's the contrast on the issues? And if he doesn't show up, Kamala will have the stage on what Congo's right, and she will shine brilliantly for that 90 minutes that they have reserved for debate. But if he does show up, she's still going to wipe the floor up with him and use those 90 minutes to make the contrast that we need to make. It's not about all this little silliness. It's really about the issues. As we said earlier, it's about the Supreme Court. It's about presidential power. It's also about the Department of Education and Project 2025. There's so many things that she can deal with him that he's lying and saying he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. Half of his prior cabinet has contributed to it. He's lying, but then, why are we surprised that Mr. Trump lies? That's his. That's what he does. So I'm looking forward to September 10th.
But here's the deal, though, Julian. I'm a Congo here. I got to disagree with you. I think this is the problem that Democrats make. Democrats go, oh, it's about the issues. It's about the issues. No, it's not. Here's the deal. You have to sometimes recognize that if you lock and load on issues, it's also about style. It's not always about substance. And I think they have to mock him. They have to belittle him. They have to call him out, because if you only focus on issues on Congo, then it's like, well, okay, fine. Donald Trump is doing all this other stuff and he's loud and whatever. No, you have got to rip into him at every turn. And again, I just think if you only make it about the issues, then you're doing the traditional thing. They got to just constantly hammer him on everything on Congo.
Yeah, I feel that, because these guys are running dirty campaigns. And look, it's not like we're saying we got to go deep and to go really like ignorant and disrespectful in the name, but it's fair to call out everything, relating to age, everything relating to they've taken over the last few days to calling what they're, how Trump and JD Vance are acting weird and it's just very weird. And people are like, oh, that's cute. But no, call it racist, call it ignorant, call it homophobic, call it anti-Semitic, call these, call them what the actions that they're doing, call it deplorable, call what they're doing, they're representing the lowest of the low. Donald Trump is trying to maintain his financial freedom and his personal freedom by running for president. So he's going to do everything possible. And if Democrats just stick to the issues and keep coming off as looking too nice, they're going to look like people who are not ready to fight. So look, I'm not saying they need to come up and make up a whole bunch of things like JD Vance did about, the cat ladies and all this other type of stuff, and children, people without kids and all that other type of stuff, but they cannot just stick to the issues. And I think especially with these younger folks who are coming into the electorate, they want to see people who are willing to fight for them, because they've seen people in both sides of the party on different levels denigrate them as uninvolved and so on and so forth. So get out there and fight back hard. And you can do it in a way that isn't stooping down to their level, but you don't have to try to act as like this, like high and mighty. This is a fight. This is a guy who said over the weekend that this could be the last election. He said to Christians, just vote for me and you won't have to vote again. Fight for that. Call that out at every single level. You got to do that. And people want to see that strength. I'm with it.
Well, and listen, what he did, Renita, he called her low IQ, called her trash and all kind of stuff. And so we know what he's going to do. And so again, I think you have to mock him. I think you have to belittle him. You can still focus on issues, but if you only make it about issues, remember, during the debate, did President Biden talk about issues? Yes. Did Trump lie 30 times? Yes. Who did they say won the debate? The lie.
It's about both. And Kamala does have to deal with the issues because she's in a different position than what President Biden was in. She's got 100 days to go ahead and reintroduce herself to the voters. You can't just assume that Kamala's going to have the exact same policies that President Biden had. She has a chance to set her own agenda, her own policies, and to make known what she wants to campaign about. So, but you're right. It's about both. She's got to lead with the issues, and she got 100 days to communicate what she is actually going to do. But then also the style of it, the way she communicates the issues has to make people feel like she is going to fight for them. And a part of that is being able to take on characters like Donald Trump. I think Trump is so scared, the things that he's saying about Vice President Harris, talking about her laugh, calling her low IQ and all this stuff. That's all he has. None of it is sticking because people know that it's not true. And I think all of this kind of backs up to why the last thing that he wants to do is show up to a debate and debate her, because everybody will see for 90 minutes that she knows what she's talking about. She will get a chance to talk about the issues, and she'll get a chance to say it in a way that lets Donald Trump know she's not playing with him.
Well, and Julianne, we've already seen how her campaign has been far more aggressive than President Biden's campaign was in terms of mocking him, in terms of calling him an old 78-year-old convicted felon. So they've been doing that, and my whole deal is keep it up.
I do think, I think that she does have to lead with the issues. I think, however, she can mock him. She can minimize him. When you talk about a 74-year-old getting ready to spend some time in jail, they're minimizing him, make the people feel sorry for him or something. So if you really want to send, I think that, but I think the issues, I don't disagree with either of my fellow panelists. I simply think that the issues are her strong suit. She is a prosecutor. She's well versed in these issues. She's not identical to Biden by any step of the imagination. Go Netanyahu about Gaza. You would never see President Biden doing that kind of thing. And then the orange man, Temerity, say she was disrespectful to Netanyahu. Well, somebody needs to be, given what's going on, and she wasn't disrespectful. She just stated the facts that he did not want to hear. So but she's got to lead with issues, but I think there are lots of ways to contrast style. Trump is blustery, braggadocious. She's elegant. And Omakago, we can be above it. We can be above it all. She doesn't have to get down in the mud with him to put him in his place. So it should be, and what she projects to me as a Black woman is an elegance, is a style. And I think that when you contrast it to some elegant woman who basically brushes him off like a fly, like a little fly that sat on her shoulder, bye, 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 bye. I think that when you contrast that with this blustering buffoon who talks loud, who talks over people, who tells lies every minute, I think even Ray Charles is different.
I got you. Listen, Julia, I got you on all the elegant stuff like that. But listen, when you in a fight, you got to be in a fight. And I get it. Yes, she has to speak to issues, but you got to punch that bully in the mouth. And you got to keep punching his ass in the mouth and keep punching him, because the reality is there are people who also vote based upon strength, who's a fighter. And you got to show that as well. So you got to show all of that.
Curl Prep Natural Hair Solutions at curlprep.com.
I'm in shock.
For curls, locks, braids, twists, and even those wigs and extensions. Women, men, and children are loving this line. Look at this video and you be the judge. People line up to see this product in action at hair shows, and when they take a seat and try it, they don't believe it's their hair. Buy the products at curlprep.com. It works on all hair types. Use code Roland, that's ROLAND, lowercase letters, to get a 15% discount. Parents, remove the ouch. You will love this system because you can comb the product through your child's hair with your fingers. It's all at curlprep.com. Use code Roland, lowercase letters, to get a 15% discount.